The determination to become the world's best striker involves that of the god of football. And Isagi Yoichi is God's chosen egoist. Blue Lock Chapter 328 leaks have dropped. Let's talk about it. So the chapter starts immediately where the last one left off, with Isagi and Ego talking to one another. As the narrator states, after the first match was finished, Isagi, having been called in, now faces Ego. What is Ego's true intention? As they wait for an elevator, Isagi asks Ego, what is it you wanted to talk about? As they're in the elevator going up to the top floor of Blue Lock, Ego asks, at the end of the game, that last play, was that your intention? As Isagi responds, that was, I just aimed for my own goal. As an egoist, I simply did what was natural. With Ego responding, yeah. With the win already guaranteed by an overwhelming lead, it was a good moment to test out an idea, a new way of thinking. Going back to what happened during the Nigerian game as Isagi thinks about it. Ego continues in the next page as the door to the elevator opens by saying, but if that gamble play keeps continuing, it will create confusion even for teammates who aren't able to respond to it. And Blue Lock's formation and tactics will collapse. That method is only a sub-weapon, secondary tactic, to use when you have room to spare. Don't make a way of winning that has no reproducibility on your main axis. As Isagi says, yes, I'm sorry, I think I understand that. But, coach. As they leave the elevator now on the roof of Blue Lock. As Isagi states, beating Noah. I feel like I'm close to finding the theory where I, Isagi, become the best in the world. As Ego questions what he means. As Isagi continues saying, that is why your soccer alone is no longer enough for me. As Isagi switches up his tone and says, this is huge, this view is insane, I guess you can come out onto the field too, huh, Coach Ego? As Ego chimes in, this is for emergency use only, do not get the wrong idea. As Isagi says, huh? Never mind. By the way, that super play highlight video you sent me, the Japan versus Nigeria one. As Ego states, if you're going to go as far as that, then let me hear the theory that surpasses mine. As Isagi says, when I watched that, I realized something. It definitely expanded my image. As Isagi continues to the next page saying, but now that I have truly felt that pain, that is exactly why I can face it head on. Now I can clearly see what I am lacking. Beating Noah with just physical ability, even if I were to be reborn a million times, that would be 100% impossible. And if there is Loki and Lorenzo and even Kaiser in a single match or even a single play, I might win sometimes. But if I look at it objectively, I do not think I'm winning at all in pure individual ability. As we see Kaiser, Lorenzo, and Loki, obviously. Isagi then continues in the next page saying, humans have two types of people. There are talented learners and geniuses. They are not in a simple hierarchy where one is always superior to the other. They clash, stimulate each other, and grow through direct competition. And through that process, an infinite chain of level ups is created. Someday, you will become strong enough to reach the very top of the world. As we see a diagram explaining what he just said. From there, he further states, back then, it felt like football itself was something divine, like it was guided by a god. And from there, the age of the Neo-Egoist League began. So that's the reason why the Neo-Egoist League was a thing. As Ego says, you could say that. Isagi tells Ego, hey Ego, one more thing. That's exactly why. Not just Rin or Bachita. No, compared to all the geniuses here in Blue Lock, I gotta keep being the ultimate talent. That makes them feel like they have to surpass me. So give me more. Give me a new kind of soccer. Because I'm going to prove that I can become the best in the world. Basically telling Ego, all of these people in Blue Lock are evolving because of me. Ego then, in the most Aura Farmer fashion I've ever seen, says, hey Isagi Yoichi, do you think a god of football actually exists? And this catches Isagi by surprise. He says, huh? You mean like Zico or Maradona? Ego, with his natural philosophical nature, says, I'm talking about something much more unscientific, something invisible. And Isagi says, I don't really get it. Didn't expect the logical Ego to be talking about mystical stuff like that. As Ego cuts him off saying, it's the result of perfecting your thoughts and effort, where your body and mind totally sync up. Luck, the environment, everything just goes exactly how you want it, and it feels like something beyond your control is guiding your destiny. As we see a jersey with the number 11 on it and some weird hands on the back of it. And in arguably the best panel I have seen in God knows how long within Blue Lock, we see a prime version of Ego being led by God. As Ego states, back when I was an active player, I actually encountered it. 7 minutes. It was the only time, never before or since. But as after 300 plus chapters, we get a backstory version of Ego, even if it is so small. Ego continues saying, back then I had to think some invisible force was at work to make sense of the inexplicable performance I pulled off. As Isagi cuts him off and says, wait, is that different from flow or the luck equation? As Ego says, those are just things I derived from that experience in order to learn and reproduce it. Answer me, Isagi Oichi, do you think a god of football exists? So the whole idea of Blue Lock isn't just making the world's greatest striker, but also having somebody witness what he witnessed when he played. Isagi answers that question in the next page by asking, if that invisible power was thanks to God, then maybe he exists. Ever since coming to Blue Lock, the fact that I first met Bachida, and in the U20 Japan match, at the very, very end, that ball fell to where I was, those things. As Ego continues about his past saying, but God won't help me anymore. That's why I quit football in the first place. I've talked too much. Our discussion ended a while ago. Let's go. As Isagi says, then please watch me, coach. As we see in the next page, that being a double page, Isagi talking to Ego, saying, I'll go meet the god of football myself, as Ego is looking back at him. Also, so simple, yet a 10 out of 10 page right here. As in the final page of Blue Lock chapter 328, Isagi says, this Isagi Oichi that you created is going to make your dream come true. As Ego says, yeah. Try surpassing me, Isagi Oichi. As the narrator states, the determination to become the best in the world is now unleashed. The next chapter is titled Don't Give Up, and we do have a break next week. And I am assuming the next chapter will be the start of the Japan versus France game. So this is absolutely insane. Now we have the god of football that blesses specific individuals. So far, all we know of is that of Ego. And now, most likely, will be Isagi. It all just comes down to what could possibly happen next to cause that. Because if it only showed up for Ego for 7 whole minutes and never showed up again, it's gotta be very difficult to achieve. I believe in my GOAT Isagi Oichi. He will make it work.